Now, I don't have an upset of the week, but I do want to talk about my Texas Longhorns in a little bit more detail than I normally have been this season. I want to answer this question before I make my prediction on the Kentucky game. The Quinn Ewers thing. Now, Quinn Ewers has been the top of the conversation since he stepped foot in Texas. He's our savior and all of this, all of that. And it shifted to what's wrong with him. He's not panning out. Then it shifted to, okay, here he's back again. He's a big game guy. And then it's, okay, why is he reverting back to old habits? And it's like, damn, he plays so well against these big time teams. And it's, okay, get Arch in there. And then it's, well, Quinn has been injury prone. Wait till he gets healthy. And then it's, okay, why is his footwork still terrible? So it's been kind of like one of these with Quinn. Is he the problem of why we don't look to our maximum potential? Is he the problem as to why Texas doesn't look like the absolute best version of themselves? No. I don't think he's the biggest problem right now. And it's I'm saying this in relation to like our expectations, guys. Like, I'm not saying the sky's falling or we're terrible or no. I'm saying, okay, if we're trying to win a national championship, you have to be nitpicky about your team and what you're doing and the habits you're building and all the little things. You know, the stuff that we're complaining about last year. We're winning all those games last year, but we kept complaining about the red zone. We kept complaining about the red zone. We kept complaining about the secondary. We kept complaining about Quinn Ewers' inconsistency within a game. All of that caught up to us in the Washington game in the playoffs. And we wonder why all that stuff happened. Well, it's been happening all year, but it's not going to be magnified until you play a really upper echelon top 5 team. Right? And Washington was that last year. So this year, we're doing the same thing again. Now, we've resolved the other issues from last year, but obviously no team is perfect and other problems are going to arise. And I think the problem is now, I think the biggest problem with Texas right now is that Texas can't run the ball like they want. They can't run the ball the way they want to. Now, before I touch on the run game, I want to finish up on Quinn. Is Quinn the problem? No. But he hasn't been the solution. And I don't know if he can be, if I'm being quite honest with you. I don't know if he can be. Yes, the deep throws, hey man, it is what it is at this point. He's not gonna connect on these deep balls unless he has a perfect pocket and his footwork is perfect. Otherwise, he's sailing that mug over the head of the receiver's head 10 plus yards. That's just the reality of it. It's been done too many times. It can't be like one of the things where, oh, if he does this or that, he is what he is when it comes to that. Okay? He is what he is when it comes to his footwork being inconsistent as all hell. When he starts getting jittery in the pocket, his footwork is really bad, and you see him missing wide open dig routes or wide open over routes like you saw in the first quarter of the Oklahoma game. Remember, that game was 7-3 with like 3 minutes left in the first half. It was 7-3. That game should have been 14-0 for 5 minutes into that game. But Quinn missed. He missed Bond on the dig, and he missed. I think he missed Golden on the dig, and he missed Bond on the over. Bond would have been walking into the end zone, and he missed him. Threw it into the dirt. And all of that just comes to this lazy footwork, man. That's always been Quinn's thing. Throwing off his back foot, okay, whatever. But he's just jittery and, just place your feet down and throw the ball. And that's even with a good pocket. So at that point, I'm like, okay, he is what he is at this point. The pocket awareness could be better too, and having that mental clock in your head of like, okay, 1, 2, go. Do y'all not remember how he looked at Michigan this year? This year at Michigan. Remember the first drive when he's rolling out of the pocket or he's stepping forward in the pocket and he's throwing the ball to, I think he threw the first one to DeAndre Moore and they got called back for some dumb holding call. And then he kind of did something similar on the next drive because remember, he missed the field goal, got the ball back, went right back down the field again. And he steps up in the pocket again and drops it in the bucket to Gunnar Hill. Y'all remember that? What happened to that? What happened? Now that's something that, okay, I saw him do that recently. And I haven't seen that really since. I haven't seen that since. So his average depth of throws is 5.9, which is really weird. We've been throwing the ball a lot at the line of scrimmage with these. We do a lot of these jet sweeps or whatever, but we do a lot of these screen plays to Golden and Bond, and it's whatever at this point. Quinn's second in the SEC in completion percentage, I think. First is Jackson Dart. This guy's he's not throwing the ball down the field. And that's reflective in the play calling, yeah, but it's kind of weird, and I think that's kind of married with my biggest issue. The reason why we don't look as potent as we should be on offense, even with Cedric Baxter out, we just can't run the ball at all. Now, the yards per carry numbers look nice, and the rush yards per game are decent. But just looking at the game, we can't run inside zone. We can't just run through a motherfucker's face down to boom, boom, boom in the A gap, in the B gap. We gotta do stretch, outside. Like, I get that that's Sark's like offense, and that's what Quintravion Wisener and Jaden Blue are really. That's where they can flourish at. But I've seen Sark's offenses absolutely blossom when there's a running back where you can just give him the ball and he's just hammering away. Jonathan Brooks getting those yards. CJ Baxter getting those yards. Bijan Robinson getting those yards. Back at Alabama, Najee Harris getting those yards inside. Opens up everything. Settles the quarterback down. Settles the offensive line down. Gives the offensive line that confidence and that mojo to where you start seeing these 40, 50-yard runs. We haven't really seen many of those this year, now thinking about it. Quintravion had a really good game against OU. He played really well in that game. Other than that, and take away like these Ryan Wingo jet sweeps and Bond jet sweeps, where has our explosive run game, where has it been? I haven't seen it. Now, y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, or if y'all feel indifferent about or different about my thoughts here, but I just think the issue is we can't run the ball the way we want to. There were times last year where we just established the dominance. The Bama game, we just run out the last 7 minutes. Yeah, we did that in the Arkansas game. Granted, I give the guys credit for that. We ran the clock out there. when we needed to. But like I'm talking about like through the course of a game, like the Iowa State game, just the TCU game, just Haven't seen that, man. I haven't seen it. So I think that's our biggest issue. And then Blue and Gibson can't hold on to the ball. And this is about to be Sark's first season as a college football head coach, where he's not gonna have 1,000-yard rusher or receiver for that matter. Which I'm fine with the receiving core. That's not an issue. But I just thought it was something to bring up. But no, I don't think Quinn's the issue. I don't think he's the solution either. So it's going to be really interesting to see. Goes back to what I was saying. There's going to be a game where your quarterback is going to have to win you the game. And I don't think we're there yet. I don't think we're there as a team. I don't think we're there with our quarterback to where I feel the confidence in him to win us a game, get us out of a game. I don't see it. Now, hopefully, our defense is just so dominant that we don't even have to get to that point. We're gonna see. We're about to play some really good offenses here in the playoffs, but there's only so much those guys can do, man. I think Texas does beat Kentucky. I think this is gonna be. Kentucky shouldn't score more than. Theoretically, they shouldn't score more than 10 on us. Their offense is horrible. There's 13 max. I want to see the offense explode, man. I want to see a game where we go for 40 plus. I think this game's gonna be kind of similar to the Florida game. I think Texas wins. Give me. Now, Kentucky has a really good defense, so give me Texas 35. No, scratch that. Give me Texas 38, Kentucky 13. 38-13.